Oh, you know what? I need to share this real quick. I appreciate y'all patience. Just hang out with me. This is gonna be worth a few minutes. I'm gonna challenge some of y'all today. Challenging myself first and foremost. As I always say, I'm always first partaker in everything that I talk about. Always first partaker. And so let's vibe a little bit. Let me paste this YouTube link over here on the Facebook. Bam. All right, here we go. So, cause and effect, right? Cause and effect. Sometimes it's funny what sparked this conversation is me thinking about my present situation and just thinking about, the things that I've been working on, the things we're trying to accomplish, where I am in my life right now, and, just kind of the current state of things with me personally. And, I said something this morning, it was kind of tongue in cheek, but meaning making a joke, but we know how much truth is in humor, right? The funniest jokes are the ones that are grounded in truth. And so, and I was just like, man, all the things that I do, as hard as I work, all of the effort that I put in, I should be further along. You know what I mean? I should be, what is it that I need to do? And it's not from a feeling sorry for myself place. It's from a, what do I need to do? Point me in the direction that I need to go sort of place. Right. And it's just like, what's happening here? And I'm a firm believer. Well, let me slow down. I get excited. So again, you're looking around at your life. Good morning. And I'm like, okay, my primary, one of my foundational principles is personal responsibility. So I'm willing to own everything. And again, that puts a certain level of pressure on me. So when I look in the mirror, when I look at my life, when I look at all the things, it's tricky because I'm blessed beyond measure. And not from I just want to be grateful place, from I'm truly blessed beyond measure. Right? I mean, I have lists and lists and lists of amazing blessings in my life. And still, right, as hard as I work, as much effort as I put in, as pure as my heart is, as pure as my motives are, as much as I have a desire to grow and to go to the next level and to serve more people, it troubles me at times when I'm not further along. It troubles me at times when I'm not having the impact that I truly want to have. And I was reminded yesterday that actually you're having an amazing impact. The work that you do is having a phenomenal impact. It's changing lives. It's this, it's that. And I'm like, okay, I have to make sure that I'm measuring myself properly, right? That I'm not being too quote unquote hard on myself, but I'm not letting myself off the hook either. And one of the lessons that I learned, and I'll share this, and then we'll actually get into the cause and effect, right? One of the things my old head used to say, he was really my first mentor. Shout out to Bishop Mills, rest in peace, man. He was the GOAT. But listen, stay with me. We're gonna unpack this thing. It is tricky. So one of the things he used to say when it comes to time, they would be like, all right, Bishop, you got X minutes. And he'd be like, all right. He would be going, like, I'll tell you when to start my timer. And they'd be like, you got 20 minutes. He would then talk 28 minutes, then tell me I start my timer. But anyway, so what I learned was that it's absolutely possible. It's absolutely a must for us to be able to hold competing thoughts in our mind at the same time. So one of the things that I learned, and this really helped me, and this is for someone for sure, is that I have to be 100% grateful for everything, for where I am, for what I have, for everything in my life, and also 100% hungry for growth and for my next level. See, I used to feel like I used to be on a seesaw, right? I used to be so caught up in gratitude, right, that the hunger would diminish, almost a level of guilt. And then, right, and then sometimes I would be so hungry getting after it that maybe, that I wasn't recognizing just how insanely blessed I am. And so now I make it a point to operate fully in both. And that can be challenging for some people, right? But just be clear. You must be 100% grateful and acknowledge all of the amazing blessings, acknowledge all of the things, but also 1000% hungry and in pursuit of your next level. That's how we continue to grow, right? It may dance a little, but no more seesawing. And I was seesawing. I would be in that state of bliss and not in attack mode. Or then I would go into attack mode and then I would be almost forgetting all of the amazing. But so do everything you can to operate fully in, oh, you see those moves? To operate fully in both. Okay, so moving right along. So in that spirit, right? Sometimes we have to be reminded. And that's why it's good to have great people around you. And that's why it's good to really, really work on your self-awareness. That's why it's really good to to constantly, continually invest in yourself and constantly, continually be willing to grow. Well, here's another one, right? Another thing that, pardon me, that really helps me to grow more and more. See, I read this somewhere along the way that if you really are committed to growth, if you're committed to your next level, then you have to be more interested in what you don't know than what you do know. And see, some of us, we get so high on our own stuff. We read our own press and we get so caught up in the amazingness that is us that we become blind to new insight. We become blind to new information, or we believe that our level of truth is the truth. And yes, your level of truth is the truth, but there's levels of truth, right? So it's absolutely true that this is this and that is that. But what's also true it's true that you're brilliant, you're phenomenal. This version of you is awesome. This version of you can do anything. T just encouraged me to go become a rapper, right? Trade all this in, turn this into a rap studio, right? But what's also true, right? We have to, you know what I'm saying? So we have to constantly continue to understand that there's levels of truth, right? And we continue to grow. We continue to invest in ourselves and grow and do everything we can to go to the next level. Right? So we have to understand that it's important. What we know is important. What I know is important. It's huge. But I'm more interested in what I don't know. Why did I say that? Because there's a sense of healthy ego that comes along with that. There's a sense of healthy ego that comes along with that. So I can't be so caught up in I'm me. I've read this many books. I've done this many hours of study. I've worked with people for this many years to get in the way of somebody saying, have you ever considered? Have you ever thought about, I noticed this about you. I noticed you said this, but then I saw that. I have to have a healthy ego so that I can hear that and receive it and run that through my filters and process that. And then I have to welcome that. I have to invite that. Some of us are so caught up in who we are that we can't become who we need to become. Somehow we missed that one. Some of us are so caught up in who we are that we're not able to become who we need to become. And so I'm always like in pursuit of knowledge and the next level when I'm trying to figure this out. Right? So anyway, so fast forward. Now thinking about what we talking about again, cause and effect. So I'm exploring, I'm like, okay, what in the world must I do to get where I want to go? I'm banging on, I'm working my face off. I'm doing all the things, but clearly I'm not doing all the things because, right? And so I'm trying to, I don't like using trying. I'm maintaining that balance, that dance of gratitude and hunger, but I'm hungry. I got some things to do, some places to go. I got some responsibilities. I got some things that I need to make happen. And so as we look at our lives, one of the things that I believe to be the absolute truth is that we are the sum total of our decisions. I am the sum total of my decisions. You are the sum total of your decisions. So we don't get to blame any outside people, places, or things for our situation, for our circumstance. Now that's a tough pill to swallow for some people. That's a really tough pill to swallow for some people, but such is life. That's the truth. Now, outside factors contributed to the choices that we made, of course, but these were choices that we made. Some conscious, some unconscious, right? Some we just were rolling with the punches, some we didn't. You get what I'm saying? But my life is the sum total of my decisions. So that begs the question, what decisions was I making to have me in this holding pattern? I feel like my wife taught me about this. My wife is she's across the hall, but my wife is like super nerd. And she was teaching me about the planes. We were driving one day and you just saw all these lights and all these planes up there, and it was kind of creepy. She's like, no, they're in a holding pattern. I'm like, what? She said they can't come in and land yet because there's some things that need to be in order. Uh-oh, the nerd popped in, y'all. There's some things that need to be set in order. There's some things that need to happen so that before they come in, and then there's an order that they have to come in. And I'm like, look, it makes sense, but okay. And so all these planes, and where we used to live, where you drive, we drive like we're right next to the airport. So they're literally like right there. That's why I said it was kind of creepy. They're like all these planes right there. So anyway, so they're circling and circling. And some of us have been on a flight before where they're like, we're here, but we can't pull in yet, and you're circling and you're circling. And that's how I feel. I feel like I've been in this holding pattern for a very, very long time. And if you've been there before, frustration tries to come in. Little voices try to tell you, well, what's wrong? Why aren't you? Look, all those runways are open right there. Oh man, that plane right there, that was circling with us. That one landed. This happened and that happened. And you start to question and wonder. And I go through that from time to time. What is going on? Why am I still in this holding pattern? And I'm intelligent enough to understand that, okay, there's something here. I need to be a waiter. Another thing. Shout out to Bishop Mills for another life lesson. I'm telling you, his legacy is right here. I am it. He said, you have to be a waiter while you wait. I said, what? He used to have this little rag that he carried around, and he would say, while you're waiting on God to open the door, while you're circling, waiting on the runway, you need to be a waiter. While you wait, you need to be serving while you, and I'm like, whoa. And that stuck with me. This was probably 20 years ago, but that stuck with me. He said, be a waiter while you wait. So while I'm in this freaking holding pattern, circling the airport over and over and over, and all these goofy, quote unquote, negative emotions, these feelings are trying to come in, and these goofy stories are coming in, and I'm trying to, all this is happening. I'm reminded that I have to be a waiter while I wait. And so I continue to show up. I continue to press on. I continue to do the things that I know to do. I continue to pursue knowledge. I continue to show up and be there for the people that I'm called to serve. But y'all, I'm sick of this holding pattern. I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. And you know how it is. If you've been in that position, there's nothing you can do. You can just be mad, sit your mad self there and wait till we land. Like, what you going to do? Right? My wife recently was on a flight and they landed. They got there a little too early and they didn't have a gate for us. So they had to just sit. They had to just kind of hang out. And we be mad for what? And I'm sure it was a lot of people sucking their teeth and having an attitude and rolling their eyes, forgetting that they just flew through the air and landed safely. God forbid they wait 20 minutes, to deplane. But anywho, I'm reminded I have to be a waiter while I wait. And so I'm focusing my decisions on being a waiter while I wait. But I'd be a bold-faced liar if I said frustration wasn't showing up at my doorstep daily. I'd be a bold-faced liar if I wasn't saying that I was confused and I wasn't asking, what decisions did I make? What did I do to be stuck in it? Right? And that shows up, and then I have to challenge it. I have to say, okay, no. I have to fix that language because that's not healthy language. I have to say, okay, so lucky me, right? I get to spend this time. I get to invest this time. I get to continue to grow. And then I'm reminded that the higher the building is going to go, the deeper and stronger the foundation. So I'm like, okay, so I have to dig deeper. I have to invest more. I have to learn more. I have to do more. I have to become more. I have to continue to dig and build this foundation because I don't know what God is doing. I don't know. I don't know the ultimate plan. I know that He has me in a particular place, and I understand I have to be a waiter while I wait, and I understand that the story is whatever I say it is, because nothing has meaning until I assign it meaning. And so the meaning that I'm choosing to take here is that I got to keep building this foundation. I got to keep digging deeper because He's taking me higher. That's the only thing that makes sense. When they built this house, they went a few feet deep, but when they build a skyscraper, think about how deep they have to go. Think about all the concrete and metal and all the things they have to put down there in order to support it. So that's the season that I believe myself to be in. But when I tell y'all, it's challenging. It's challenging. Be trying not to cuss on here, but it's challenging. Listen, anywho, so I am the sum total of my decisions, and I believe that to be true, right? Every action, every decision has a consequence. Yo, I needed to get that out. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I'm glad. It is. Listen, I'm glad. I wish I had grasped these lessons back in the day in my 20s, fam. So your life is the sum total of your decisions. So every time you're in a particular moment, no matter how goofy the moment feels, as you navigate through the situation, one of the things that you need to do, obviously, once you're out of harm's way, is say, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, I need to, I made a choice. I took an action that created this situation. Maybe not today, maybe 2 years ago. Maybe something was said that caused something to be said, that caused something to be done, that caused something to happen, that caused something, that caused something, that caused something to cause this moment. But it was me. It was me. It was my fault. And there's beauty in that. See that? There's beauty in that. There's beauty in that, right? Why? Because someone is saying, no, because you don't know my mom and my dad and the boy on my block and my pastor and my dad and the neighborhood I'm from and the this and the that and the politics and who's president and Biden and Trump and Obama and who body else had did. No, it's my fault. It's my fault. And yes, that's a gut punch. Yes, when things aren't amazing, when things are amazing and you're extremely successful and happy and you built something, yes, I'm the sum total of my decisions. But when it's looking a little goofy, are you still going to embody I'm the sum total of my decisions? See, you got to own it all, right? So, but the beauty of it is, if my decisions, if my choices, if my actions got me in this, then my decisions, my choices, my actions can get me, quote unquote, out of this. I can make, if I made decisions that got me here into this goofy space, then I can make decisions to get me to the space that I want to be in. And then I understand, okay, so there's a gap between where I am and where I want to be. And the way that I close the gap is by making decisions and taking actions. Making decisions and taking actions. And then before you know it, oh, guess what? I'm closing the gap. I'm closing the gap. And the thing is, you're closing the gap anyway. Or maybe not. Maybe you're making decisions that are expanding the gap. So think about that. Before I make this choice, is this closing the gap? Or is this moving me closer to becoming the person that I want to become? Or is this moving me, this thought that just showed up, do I need to go with that and follow that where it's going because it's moving me? Or do I need to dismiss this thought and replace it because if I don't, it's going to move me? See, we have to take responsibility for our thoughts. We have to take responsibility for the things that we say. We have to take responsibility for the actions that we take or don't take. Because my life is the sum total of my decisions. So I have to take ownership. I have to take full responsibility for my outcomes. I have to adopt that philosophy that everything is my fault. And again, yes, sometimes it's like, I had a what the moment this morning. I'm like, yo, what the world? I'm supposed to be. And I had to remind myself of, okay, I had to go into gratitude and think about all the things. And then but then the moment was, okay, wow, wait a minute. Whatever got me here, Let's say I don't even consider any of those things. I say, okay, wait a minute. There's a place that I want to go. There's a higher version, there's a higher expression of me, there's a better version of me. There's a more polished, a more evolved version of me that's available. And in order for this version of me to become that version of me, I have to move. I have to do some things. I have to think differently. I have to speak differently. I have to move differently. And then just taking ownership and responsibility for that, then that's how we transform our lives. I talked the other day, I talked about how yesterday it's a book of wisdom for us to help us make quality decisions on today. It's not a ball and chain. It's not something that, like for me, that had me in the chokehold and was stopping my forward progress. No, 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 no. Yesterday, all of those experiences, they serve as a book of knowledge, a book of wisdom. And so every challenge that I'm faced with, there's something in these pages that I can, right, that can help me. Whether it's I've done this before, so I know how to overcome this particular thing, whether it's I got it right last time, so I know how to get it right, or I got it wrong last time, so I know how to get it right because I got it wrong. Either way, it's a gift. It's a gift. Imagine if someone comes and says, you know what, hey, listen, this really had an amazingly positive, this right here, this is going to guide you along your way. Here you go, take this. And when you need to make decisions, I need you to just read through it. I need you to feed yourself with this positive stuff right here so that it fills you up, so that when it's time to make choices, you're equipped to, what is this? This is my past. This is all of my experiences. This is everything I went through. The good, the bad, the ugly, the things I got wrong, the things I want to look back and celebrate, the things I'd rather not look at, all that. All of it, all of it, all of it. So in that spirit, right, we have to understand a couple of things, right? I get to choose. My life is the sum total of my decisions, right? So I have to become more self-aware. I have to become a better decision maker. So I have to take ownership for my choices. And my choices, I have to choose what to think about. And just for clarity, goofy thoughts are going to show up. Crazy, weird thoughts are going to show up. We don't always control what shows up, but we control what happens next. Because I get some goofy thoughts in my head and whoa, I gotta get rid of that crap and replace it with something healthier. So it's okay, right? It's okay if something goofy shows up. But then you have to, whoa, okay. Because that, think of it as that a thought is just an opportunity. I've never said it like this. Ooh, come on. A thought is just an opportunity that presents itself. I get to decide whether I'm going to invest in that opportunity and roll with it. Right? The thoughts that show up, it's just an opportunity. It's just a suggestion. And the problem is, we think, oh, that showed up, so then that must be the truth. Whole lot, think about it. Whole lot of crap shows up in your head that you don't roll with. So that just lets us know that we do have the power of choice. And so it's important to think about what we think about. And if we can agree that our lives are the sum total of our decisions, wouldn't it benefit us to become better decision makers? My life is the sum total of my decisions. I have the power of choice. I'm aware that the choices I make, right, every decision I make moves me either closer to becoming the person that I want to become or away from becoming the person. So is that something that we should get better at? That we should invest some time, energy, and effort into learning how to do a little bit better? Just think about it. You know, you get on your favorite athlete because he can't hit that elbow jump shot. Oh my God, that don't make no sense. You're a professional. You should be able to make that. Well, you're a professional, right? You should be putting in that time. You should be showing up before practice to get those shots up. You should be staying after practice to get, same rules apply, same concept. So what, they play for your favorite team. Same rules apply, right? Anywho, so we're taking responsibility for our decisions. We're taking responsibility for our outcomes. We're taking responsibility for our lives, for our situations. We're adopting the "it's all my fault" philosophy, right? And we're using that as as an empowerment tool, not as something to beat us down. No. That's a tool of empowerment. And we're being intentional with our actions. We're being intentional with the steps we take. We're being intentional with our thoughts. We're being intentional with the words we speak. And we're being intentional with our actions. One of the things I've been talking about lately is when we're intentional, we're unstoppable. Yo, when I'm intentional, I'm unstoppable. The problem is, right, when I don't set my intention, when I'm on cruise control, or when I don't govern my thoughts, that's what. So it's vitally important to be intentional every day. Set the intention of who do I want to become? How do I want to show up? Right? What would the best version of me do in this situation? Oh, I'm faced with a challenge. That's literally what just happened. Okay, I'm going through this, but I know how to handle this. And the way God deals with me is it's always the question of what advice would you give someone in this particular situation? And I have the ability to kind of separate from myself a little bit and say, well, I would tell that nice gentleman to do A, B, C, and X, Y, and Z. So now I'm standing here sharing the A, B, C, and X, Y, and Z with you guys, right? As you guys know, those that know me, I always talk about these interactions. This is just God speaking to me. This is me and God having an interaction, and I'm just allowing you guys to listen in, right? I'm just letting you guys eavesdrop. So anyway, that was fun. What up? Any questions? I got time for a question or two. Ooh, that was fun. Let me see. Yeah, I appreciate the support. Thanks for the likes. Oh, y'all got it popping. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Those of you that are tapping on the screen, I'm sending a virtual ice pack y'all way. I know how it gets. When I see people live, I'll be tearing that screen up too. Thanks for the comments. Thank you. Thanks for tapping in, T. I appreciate you. Got the 20-somethings, got the young folks in here. I appreciate it. Teresa, what up? Ronnie, what up? Thanks for good morning, Vietnam. Good morning. Yes, we have to choose what to think about. Yeah, just because the thought shows up there, it was just a suggestion. It was just an opportunity. We don't have to pounce on every opportunity. Y'all know how it is. People want to offer you, hey, yo, man, hey, bro, let me show you. No, thanks, fam, I'm good. Same thing. Little goofy thought come in. Ooh, look at that. No, thanks, I'm good. It happens all the time. And we can do it in certain situations. Now I'm saying do it all the time. Get those filters together. Only allow the things in that are empowering, that are helping you close the gap. Keep that other crap out. Laugh and keep it moving. All right, boom. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad you felt that. All right, I don't see no questions. I'm about to dash. Give y'all a couple more seconds while I sip my water. Because inevitably I'll hit the button and somebody will drop a question. This was fun. Yeah, listen, it's motivation, but it's more so food for thought, right? It's food for thought. Yes, we feel good. You know what I mean? There's an energy exchange that happens, but more than motivated, and you're right, obviously, but more than motivated, it's food for thought. When that goofy thought shows up, I want you to be reminded of this interaction, right? When it's time to, you know what I'm saying? When you're like, oh, when you're having a little frustrating moment, like I was, trying to have this morning, you gotta shake that thing off. You gotta go and use your tools. So yeah, motivation is great, but what's better is what? Becoming a better decision maker. And that's what this is ultimately about. Taking ownership and responsibility for our decisions, because our decisions are what shape our lives. Anywho. Oh man. All right. I don't see no questions. You lovely folks. Exactly. We can exchange it. Yep. You ever get something, you've sent your plate. Oh yeah, no, I didn't order this. Or yeah, this is well done. I asked for medium well. Thank you. Well, it's gonna take, about 15 minutes to make you another one. That's fine. There you go. Or if you go to, oh, you know what? Yeah, this isn't going to work. I don't like how it fits. Here you go. Same way. We send plates back. We exchange, we return stuff, whatever. Same thing with those goofy thoughts. Get them the hell out of there. Anywho, you guys are the best. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Have an awesome Friday, peoples. Pardon me. Excuse me. Whoops.